Okay, let's have a look at how we get Scratch to stop going through walls. You can see here I've got some basic controls to moving forward, and it's important that when we create our maze or our wall that we don't do it using the new sprite tools, which you can see at the top here, but instead we actually do it on the stage. The stage is where all our backgrounds live. So let's click on the background tab and let's make ourselves a simple basic maze. I'm just going to draw out a couple of boxes here. Oops, not that box. I'm going to undo that and draw out a couple of hollow boxes. This is just a simple maze to give you an idea of what we're going to do. I'm then going to use the eraser tool and take out some of those lines. There we go, and say OK. And now I've got myself a basic maze. You'll see here, once I've made Scratch a bit smaller, that I'll need to go back to my scripts and put some more in to stop Scratch going through the wall. Because you can see he moves 10 steps, but he goes through. So the next thing I need to do is I need to say, when I go forward 10 steps, if I happen to touch the wall, and the way I do that is I go to sensing and see if I'm touching the colour of the wall, in this case black. It can be a bit tricky to click on it, so do your best. And the thing now is to say, if I do touch the colour of the wall, in this case black, I need to do the opposite of what I just did. So instead of going forward 10 steps, I need to go back 10 steps. I copied a bit too much there. Let's change that to -10. So I go forward 10, if I'm touching the colour black, then I go backwards 10 as well. And you can see there that he won't go through the wall, but there is quite a gap in front of him. If you're not happy with that, or more likely, if it doesn't quite work, what I suggest you do is you change the value of 10 and -10 to 3 and -3. It might work fine, but 3 and -3 work a whole lot better. He does take smaller steps, so there's less chance of him going straight through the wall. And we can see there that he moves forward. One thing you do need to do is put a move in direction in first. Now this is important because I've seen people putting the move in direction second, so he moves and then turns around. Once it's all working, and I've got my moves and my -3s, I can change my commands by duplicating it and choosing the next series of commands. So I can set these two, make sure the directions work. Sorry, duplicated the wrong bit then. Right click and duplicate. I can put in the commands for up, for down, for left and right, just by duplicating and by changing the values there and also the value there. There we go. Now obviously Scratch is still turning around when he moves, and I can solve that by clicking on the button there to keep him just facing left and right. And now we can see Scratch can't go through any of the walls at all. Remember, point in direction, move some steps. If I'm touching the wall, move back the same number of steps that I actually moved. Good luck.